This 9th day of June was a day when 9 people were slaughtered by Basilio Okero in Chikandwa village of Nakaseke district. One of the people killed was Rutamaguzi. This person had escorted me in May. I don't remember the exact days, but it was in May, because I was preparing to go out to look for support. I came from Chikandwa up to Nigade, and Rutamaguzi came with me and left me there and went back. Then I went to the place of Chove, the Chove of Matuga. There is a very, something, Kasarirwa, something like that. The place of Chove. I stayed there for some days because I was waiting for a boat to come from Kenya. Not from Kenya, but a boat to be organized from here, taking me to Kenya through the lake. Eventually, my people secured the boat on the 6th of June. So I was driven by Sikwa Wecheyune, our former RDC, from Matuga through some roads. We ended up at Buama, and then in the evening of that 6th, about 5:30, we entered the boat. I entered the boat at Katebo landing site, and we went in the water and spent the night at Bobeke. Bobeke is an island in the lake. It is, I think it's among the last in the Sese archipelago. We slept in the home of somebody who died recently. And this is where I unsuccessfully tried to eat fish, because I don't eat fish. You know, those Banyankole don't eat fish. If you see the fish eaters, you know they are Banyankole of here, of the town. I tried, but I didn't manage. So then the following day, 7th, we got another boat, slightly bigger than this one, but not very. This one from Katebo to Bubeke was 12 horsepower, and the other one at Bubeke was 25 horsepower. It went, but in the lake there, it got problems. But eventually, we entered the Kavirondo Gulf on the way to Kisumu in the evening, when it was coming evening on the 7th. But then we got lost and ended up at another town called Homa Bay instead of Kisumu. But we managed eventually by morning of 8th now to get to Kisumu early morning. The Kisumu people were very disappointed because they thought we were smugglers. They thought we had brought some bogoya and other things, but we had brought nothing except ourselves. So they were very disappointed. So I found there are people waiting for us, Amama Mbawazi, and the late Chigozi, the husband of Maggie. And they drove us to Nairobi on the 8th. So the following day, now 9th, today, when I had slept in Nairobi one night, that's when Basilio invaded Chikandwa and killed these people by cutting them. It is true that they were supporting us, which from the point of view of UPC was treason, but they should have been taken to court and charged. But no, they were just killed there, and they were not armed. These were just civilian supporters. The guerrillas they were not seen because they were in the bush. They were not in the village. People who were killed there were 9: Rutamaguzi, Nkanjirwa, the Musomesa, others Sentongo, 9 of them. So eventually when we won the war, we decided to make the 9th a day to represent all the other people who died in the struggle for freedom, even before independence and during independence and after independence. That's why we call it the Heroes' Day. Now, one of the things we are fighting for is to stop extrajudicial killings, killing people outside the law. And the NRM is very strict on that. Even when mistakes occur, we follow them up. Like, for instance, during these elections which Bishop Semogere was talking about, there were mistakes. The opposition made mistakes by being violent, by intimidation, attacking people because they are putting you on yellow. You had Kabandwa, the secretary of Haji Sedunga, was reading there that people were being attacked. And even Haji Sedunga said that some people didn't even vote because of the intimidation. It was in his speech there, and that's the truth. Now, this of course was a miscalculation, because I can tell you, if you have got ears to hear, that nobody can defeat the NRM by force. If you bring force, then you are in the wrong arena, because we have a lot of capacity to deal with force. So this is a miscalculation, and those who encourage the opposition to take that line are misleaders. Of course, they are acting unconstitutionally because there's no need to use force in Uganda now. Because you can vote, why do you use force? Vote. In some areas, NRM did not win. Opposition won in some areas. So why did we not stop those opposition from winning? We had candidates, but some other groups won. So there's no need to use force. But some people think they can use force and uproot the NRM. It will not happen. That's a wrong line. And also to think that you can use insecurity, like recently when they killed a girl of Katumba, a daughter, and a driver, that will not bring down the NRM. You can be sure about that. What will happen is that we shall mobilize and react, and we shall defeat you, like we did in the past. So it's just a waste of time. But the mistakes on the NRM side is sometimes to overreact. Partly because of poor leadership in some of these groups. You find the soldiers are not well briefed. They just go into a situation without proper briefing. But the law is very clear. We have put it in the law. The procedures are very clear. The standing orders are very clear. How to handle the different types of troublemakers. If they are peaceful but lawbreakers in an illegal demonstration, there is how to handle it. There you use non-lethal methods, which are there. Tear gas, water cannon, those are there. They don't kill, they discourage and somebody goes away. If somebody becomes violent and goes threatening the lives of the security people, there is also a procedure. In some cases, mistakes happen, some of them don't follow that procedure and make mistakes. Fire when they should not fire. But what I want to everybody who is honest, because I don't mind about the dishonest people, anybody who is honest knows that we, the government I lead, cannot condone that action. When something like that happens, we follow up, case by case. And I have the files of all the 54 people who died in that problem of 18th of November, I think it was, 18th, 19th. And where the security forces made mistakes, we discovered it. The first thing I did was to hold seminars of those people. You must have seen on the media how I met all the commanders of the special forces. I met all the police commanders in the whole country to review the actions and mistakes, but also follow up the families of the affected people. Like, for instance, many of the people who were arrested were released and even supported. So, therefore, I want to assure Ugandans that there is no way we can tolerate and condone impunity of wrongdoing. Anybody who says to the contrary, they can say what they want, but they are wrong. Now, on security, as I said, nobody can dislodge the NRM by war, because they tried and failed. And our capacity is now much greater than ever before. Secondly, insecurity, thinking that you can kill people, and because you are killing people, because some of these groups plan like that. Let's kill people, target people. In fact, we have warned some of the opposition people. You find the people sit somewhere and say, let's go and kill somebody from the opposition, so that people think it is the government which is killing them. And in that way, they would hate the government. Well, we are going to defeat that effort also, because the provocation will lead to counteraction, and in the end, you will lose. So I totally agree with the Bishop Semogeja that the elections are now over. So it's better people, and me, I'm ready. I've met even some of the opposition, I meet them, and we discuss. And we advise them. They can also advise us. The only problem are some who don't want to discuss, and they think they will impose their views on us, which will not, of course, happen.